Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central, bright and early. It's a stitching retreat, a virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my stitching journey. And I hope I can inspire or motivate you to put something under the needle. If you're watching on replay, get up, go in the sewing room, and get going. I know you've got something to do. Something needs done. Hi, Frito. Oh, my little rescue is here. There she is. Isn't she pretty? Hi, babies. This is Frito, our little rescue, if you're brand new. Great to see everybody here in the chat. Good morning, good morning. I love seeing y'all here, bright and early or late, as the case may be. You want your little biscuit? There's a little Dave biscuit. Yeah, sweet girl. She likes those. Is this the bacon and cheese? I can't remember, or the peanut butter. It looks like the peanut butter. All right, you ready to go brush your teeth? Here's a good one. Yeah, look at that. There you go. Bye. Have a good day. Fantastic. Love it, love it. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you guys. I love it. Yesterday was very productive. Lots and lots got done. Not only did I finish the skate block, almost. There we go. There's the skate. Okay. This block is from Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas, and it is one of the blocks that are to be done in April. And because they're doing, the Fat Quarter Shop is doing a quilt along for that. So, hey, if you're new here, put in the chat, pop in the chat and let us know you're new, or if it's your first time on the live. We love having newbies. I have a sunshine committee wandering around in the back, and they will just welcome you with open arms. Good to see you. Hi. Lots of love. I love that. You did miss Frito. She just, Sharon, she came, and you know how she is. She's very busy. Okay. She doesn't have time. And then you're new. Hi, Mary. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. That's great. Where's my sunshine committee? What are you guys doing? Y'all, we have a virtual kitchen, just like there's a kitchen at every stitching retreat. You can wander over there. Scotty Dog runs the kitchen. We've got pastries and breakfast goodies and whatnot. And Barb is always on the coffee. Oh, Scotty Dog's already listed the menu. Love it. Y'all go and enjoy. But if you're new, you're in the right place. It's just for fun, okay? On your way in, you guys, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching on TV, grab your channel remote and hit the channel up button. I appreciate that very much. There we go. There they are. I see them. They're all, welcome, Mary. Glad you're here. We have quilters and stitchers of all skill levels here. So if I miss a question or a comment or something, you can rest assured that some knowledgeable member of the chat is going to help you out. And then also, you guys, you'd be surprised how many people actually go back and rewatch this and just to read the chat, because they might have missed it while they were watching it the first time. And then they always read the comments below. So if you're new watching on replay, let us know. I love having newbies down there as well. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you and I can hang out together more often. It is a bright Tuesday morning. Oh, Mary, you are welcome. She says, thanks for saving me $80-some on Embrilliance last night. You are welcome. That's wonderful. Yeah, today is the last day for the April, I don't know if they're doing them once a month, but when they throw one out, I let you know. Embrilliance has their 10% off coupon, and it expires close of business or end of day today. So just be sure to grab that if you want to do Snapplique along with me, or if you're new to embroidery. Embrilliance is a wonderful software that you can use to inspect your designs. And why didn't that go off? Hold on. There we go. Got it. You got to hit the right button, Becky. So, all right. I'm not going to use Snapplique today, but I'm going to do something very cool to show you guys. So also yesterday, I did get done the jingle bell. How about that? Look at that block. How cute is that? Yay. Lots of stitching yesterday. So finished the skate, which I started yesterday morning. I got the jingle bell done. And then also we had the Brightly Sampler sew along yesterday, which was a separate live. That was at 9 a.m. Central. And then I got that. That was the fancy block. Got that finished. So I'll show you guys that tomorrow. We're at a different spot in my sewing room today. Yeah. Ding dong. We're at a different spot in my sewing room today because I'm going to be working on the Luminaire. Everything I'm doing on the Luminaire here, if you have a Luminaire, I'm not sure about the Stellaire as far as the buttons go. Anyway, if you have a Luminaire, Brother Luminaire, a Baby Lock, Solaris, the Avenir, Brother Avenir, or the Baby Lock equivalent of that. And again, I'm not sure about the Stellaire's ability to do what I'm doing. I'm sure it can, but I'm doing it on screen because the Stellaire uses an app. Anyway, I'm not sure about that. I have not played with the Stellaire enough. Vicky's always singing, y'all. Now she's singing Jingle Bells. She's always singing. There's a song in her soul, you guys. So funny. All right. So I got some happy mail. Y'all, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Hold on a minute. I need a sip of coffee. Keith got the running boards installed on his Bronco yesterday, so he's very happy about that. And last week, he and the neighbor got the running boards put on my Jeep and a tonneau cover installed on the back of the Jeep, which is cool, and something else. He installed, I got a new Jeep. I'm a Jeep girl now. I've been a Ford girl forever, and I got a Jeep. So Keith did a lot of auto mechanic. That's why I married him. The story is, let's see, it was 1990. No, let's see, I got back from the Azores in 99. Must have been 2000. What year is this? 25? Yeah, must have been 2000, late 2000. On my way to work, it was pouring. My windshield wipers quit. So I had to pull over to the side of the road on 281 South, which is a crazy, fantastic, big, ginormous highway in San Antonio. And I'm getting whizzed by cars and everything. And I got to work late. Y'all didn't, I'm going to finish this story. Then we're going to talk about this. So anyway, I finally get to work late, and he has to give me a hard time. Oh, the government's late. Y'all come and go as you please. Because he was a contractor being paid by the hour. I get paid no matter when I show up. So I see the government comes in. It's one of those, you come in late and somebody, it's 8 a.m. and they look at their watch and go, good afternoon, where you been? Kind of thing. Anyway. So I told him what happened and he said, well, let me see if I can take a look at that. And I'm like, really? You know things? You know things. That's cool. He was able to repair, I had a 1996 GMC Jimmy. So he was able to repair that and replace the windshield wiper motor. And that was very nice of him. And then it must have been about 8 or 9 months later, the air conditioner went out on it. And he repaired that. So I started to feed him, and the rest is history. Strays, they don't go away once you start feeding them. I try to tell all young ladies, men are going to drive you absolutely crazy. No offense, my male friends on the channel. Men are going to drive you absolutely crazy. You better make sure he's got skills or the money to fix whatever, right? One or the other. Anyway, let's get back to Happy Mail. So that's why Keith has not been making seam rippers, because he's been laying on his back in the driveway under a car. So it is a great story. I know. Food is the key. That's right. My mother told me that. Key to a man's heart is his stomach. That is old, old advice, and it is good advice. All right, so if you can't cook, get with the program, young ladies. All right. This is from Jamie. She's so fun. She says, this morning as I laid in bed watching your live at 5 a.m., meaning she's probably on the West Coast, you issued a challenge, get to my machine and start sewing. I did just that on a quilt I've had on my design wall for about a month. It's a quilt of valor that I needed to sew all the blocks together and then sew the rows together. At the end of the live, I put dishes away and tidied up the kitchen because that's what I do. When I get done here, I go right into the kitchen and put the dishes away from the dishwasher. Okay, I'll probably fix breakfast, maybe. And when you came back on again, I sat down at the machine and worked on row 2. In between rows, I did other things around the house. Yeah, you go switch out the laundry. Maybe you run the vacuum or whatever. I have a robot that goes around at 2 in the afternoon. That's very handy. I can't believe how much dust is not in my house anymore now that the robot's doing its job every day. I have blocks in rows 1 through 5 sewn together and just need to do row 6. Then I'll be prepared to take the rows to a sew date on Friday and put the quilt top together. I just want you to know that even this old lady can learn new tricks. Thank you for your encouragement and great support to the quilting community. I'm going to bed quite proud of all that I did today. Good for you, Jamie. Let's all give Jamie a round of applause. Well done. Well done. Where's my clapping hands? I know you guys have them. Emojis. Y'all love your emojis. You're so fun. So nice. Does Keith have a new Bronco or an old model? Bonnie, it's a 2024. Yay, lots of applause for Jamie. There you go. You guys love your clapping hands. Y'all are so fun. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so the story on the Bronco. The Bronco is brand new. This is fun facts about Becky that you didn't ask for. We purchased a motorhome in 2021, and we had a little 2-wheel dolly, and he bought a little Chevy Spark. Car's about this big. It had crank windows and pull-up locks. So, and that was to tow behind the motorhome. I have a picture of it. I need to find it and show you guys. So anyway, after about a year of that, he said, I'm done with this. I don't like towing this thing. Ford has come out with an F-150 that you can flat tow behind a motorhome or behind an RV. And he wanted to get that. And I said, okay. So he went and bought a 2022 F-150 King Ranch truck to flat tow behind the motorhome. And it works pretty well, but it's got issues. The 2022s, I don't know if they fixed it in 23 and 24, but 2022s have problems. So I cannot tell you the number of times we went somewhere, and from here to Lafayette, and I'm in San Antonio, that's not that far, and we get where we're going and the battery is dead on the truck because that computer is running like crazy, and I don't know what it's doing, but it's not getting power from the battery. And so battery's dead. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's getting overloaded. Whatever. I don't know. Ford knows it's an issue. Ford knows about this. So he got a trickle charger or some kind of charger to run straight line from the batteries on the motorhome to the battery to the truck. So solve that problem. Another big recall issue on the Ford is sometimes in flat tow, you're minding your own business and the emergency brake, the parking brake comes on in flat tow mode. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So anyway, we had gone to Canton 2 weeks ago for our RV group, and we're on the way home, and we're maybe about 100 miles outside of Canton heading for Waco. And is it that far? Anyway, we're halfway between Canton and Waco, and pulled down. We were in a big 4-lane intersection, 4-lane, it's a big divided highway with a wide left turn. We pull up to make the left turn to let other traffic go by, and he starts going, and that Ford starts, it threw the parking brake on, okay, not unbeknownst to us, it threw the parking brake on, and he's going forward, and the motorhome, and this thing's 42 feet long, it's big, it's got a big 450 Freightliner in it, it's huge, and it starts doing this because the tires are, how's it go? It's what they're doing, tearing them up. He had to stop. We blocked traffic. I'm waving traffic around us. He went back there. Thank goodness the battery had the little charger on it. It wasn't dead. And he could get in, and he unlocked the parking brake, reset the flat toe, and we took off. About 10 miles outside of Waco, it happened again. Very dangerous. He said, okay, you drive the truck home. I'm going to disconnect. You drive the truck home and I'll follow. And I said, okay, fine. So then we get, and I'm on 35 South. I get on the 130, which is a toll road that goes around Austin, worth every penny. Okay. So I'm going around Austin, and I'm just south of Austin. The speed limit is 85 miles an hour because there's nobody out there. Okay. And it has a governor on it, essentially. It won't let me go over 80. I'm being pushed by traffic behind me, for the folks that were there, having to go around, looking at me, giving me the side eye. I couldn't get the car over 80, the truck. I was so mad when I got home. I was telling this story. My husband's friend says, that's a good thing for those women drivers. I had a few choice words for him. So I was upset. We got home. I said, I don't like that nanny state truck. Get rid of it. So he went to Ford 2 days later and complained about the flat toe issue, and he could reset and get rid of that on the key. But every time the battery dies, the key resets and I can't go 85. Y'all, that 85 miles an hour is a standard speed limit in Texas. Okay. On that 130, and then from San Antonio to San Antonio to El Paso, if you don't drive 85 miles an hour, it takes 4 days to get there. Anywho, so then after he was at the service department, he went back in and said, what do you give me for my truck? And it was a swap. So we have a 2024 Ford Bronco, brand new. No dangerous vehicle. It's frightening, you guys, when you're driving along. Like I said, fun fact. Let's get to what today's video is all about, shall we? Yeah. Frito, quit scratching your ear. So in the pattern book for Vintage Christmas, do I have the book here? No, hold on a second. Quit scratching your ear, Frito. Okay. So in the pattern book for Vintage Christmas, this is it right here. 13-year-old book. And I made the skate block. I showed you guys this yesterday. Okay. So, oh, yeah. But that's why we bought the Jeep to flat tow behind the motorhome. We're not flat towing the Bronco. We're flat towing the Jeep. Yeah. And he just put the Blue Ox thing on it too. So that's what he was doing also last week. All right. So in the skate block, I wasn't clear on that. Sorry. Lori Holt wants you to hand stitch laces on the skate block. I'm not doing that. I could take forever to get this stitched out, and it would look horrible. It would look horrible. My fingers fall asleep when I'm holding something or doing a mouse for too long or whatever. I'm not doing that. I don't need to do that because I have a brother Luminaire. So I'm going to show you one of the very cool things about the brother Luminaire And when I say Brother Luminaire, I mean brother and baby lock machines that have this ability, okay? It is beyond me why Janome did not put a camera in their machine. It has been that M17. I have no idea. Yeah, me hand stitch. Ha ha ha. Fun thing. Yeah, that's a good laugh, huh, Jan? You hand stitch. Don't be silly. I don't have time for that. I'm very busy with my life. So these machines have a scanner in them. There is a camera right under here. That little light right there. There's a camera. So what I did is I made a copy of the page, okay? And they give you a scanning mat. You don't have to use a scanning mat, but I'd already hooped the block. So I'm using the scanning mat. It's a laugh, I know. That is crazy that they did not put a camera in there. I mean, I can see where they can say, well, it's one more thing to go wrong, but so is the app in the machine, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. So you can scan this page and the camera takes a picture and it will digitize what it sees. And that's what I'm going to do here right now. So I did test this yesterday to get a look at it, and I want to show you my test. Look at that. I got skills too. How about that? So I'm going to show you how I did this on this gate block because I did a test sew. All right. You're trying to figure out what a blue ox is? Dave, it's a towing system, a flat towing system. One half goes on the RV and the other half goes on the front end of your vehicle. It's pretty cool. Only on this machine. No, Maureen, there are certain brother and baby locks that have this ability, the higher end. That's why this machine retailed for the price of a car. Okay. Okay. Eleanor Burns says hand is a dirty 4-letter word. I agree with her. Absolutely. All right. So what I did is I used no-show cutaway mesh. Okay. No-show cutaway mesh. Oh, y'all, I have notes in my phone I need to tell you about before we end. With the Stellaire, I think with the Stellaire, you can take a picture of the pattern and import it into the machine and do the same thing. It doesn't have a scanner camera in it, in the Stellaire. And I'm pretty sure, Bernard, it said that Judy says, I have a Stellaire and my hand stitching is in Brilliant Stitch Artist 3. Yes, ma'am. So I'm pretty sure on the Janome M17, on the Stellaire, on the Vernia, I don't know about the Vernia. I know on the Janome, you take a picture of it with your phone and you can import that into the machine and then you can stitch it out. Okay. So, okay. So Jane, so she has scanning both on the Destiny and the Solaris, and you don't use the feature a lot, but it's available. Okay. The scanning ability is a little bit different between them, I'm pretty sure. I have a scanner in my Quattro, and it has all the upgrades, so it thinks it's a dream machine. So it can scan, but it just allows you to maneuver things around on the screen, okay? The higher end machines like the Luminaire and the Solaris, which are cousins, they are identical, almost identical in every way. Those actually digitize, and that's a difference. Okay, so the Quattro Dream Machine does not digitize. It does because it came with a little tablet with a pen, and you could draw on the tablet. But okay, so let me show you how I'm going to do this. So the first thing we need to do is get the pattern into the machine. Yes, with the Stellaire, you take a picture with your phone. So I'm going to put this in here. So this is actually the scanning mat, okay? This is a scanning mat. It's plastic. And it's got these little green magnets. You can get away with not using a scanning mat and just lay this in a hoop if you wanted, because the machine doesn't know. All right. This is why I have this machine. I need my button. Okay. You can do it on the Solaris. Absolutely. Yeah, the buttons are the same, y'all. You can do it on the Solaris. All right, I'm going to put this here so you can watch what's going on. Get in just a little bit tighter. All right. So I'm going to go to my design center. So you have sewing and embroidery. Embroidery is what you use when designs are already made and you don't need to digitize anything. And then Disney, and then my design center. And this is where your digitizing comes in. On a baby lock, this says IQ design. Okay. Now, buttons. Up here in the top, there's a little leaf with an arrow right there. That's the scan the mat button. Okay, so I'm going to hit that. And then down here, it says image scan, line design, or illustration design. And that's just a difference between what exactly it's looking for. Okay, is it looking for in-depth colors? Is it looking for real complex designs? I'm going to go to line design because I'm just scanning lines in the laces. And it tells you use the scanning mat, put your paper on there and hit scan. You can also import a file. Let me get back. You can import it from the machine or a USB. You could be cabled to your computer, a chip, or wireless, which is very handy. So I'm going to hit scan, and the frame's going to move. Get your hands out of the way. Okay. All right. So now it's going to take a minute and scan this entire thing. Like I said, the camera is right under here. So it comes over to this side, and now it's going to scan all the way down this side of the mat. And it's going to do it. I think it's like 4 times it does this. Okay. Texas highways are like the Autobahn in Europe, Bonnie. Yeah. I-10 between San Antonio and El Paso is 85 miles an hour. Yep. You have an opportunity to purchase a Luminaire today for $7,500. Go do it. I'm just telling you. Go do it. These machines retailed in their day, the Luminaire 1, they were upwards of $20,000. All right. So let's see what the scanner saw. Wrong way. There it is. So just like, okay, so here's what it saw. There's my laces. This lace is for the 6-inch block, and this lace is for the 12-inch block. So I only need the one for the 6. And just like on the scan and cut, it wants you to frame the image, and it gives you these little red arrows. Now, you might notice this right here. Your machine comes with a mouse. You don't have to use a mouse, okay? You can use any wired mouse. It doesn't take a wireless mouse. I don't know, it might if it had a dongle. You could try. I haven't tried it. But this is the mouse that came with it, okay? I'm pretty sure it came with it. So I plug that in, and I'm going to grab this arrow, and I'm going to pull it and frame it. You can do this with your finger or the stylus if you want to. I am not that good with the stylus. That thing is clunky in my opinion. So I'm framing out my lace. There we go. And I'm going to tell it, okay. And so now it has captured the lace and some other noise on the screen that I need to get rid of. I can get rid of that in a minute. Okay. So it has a grayscale detection. You can go back and forth, all right? And then we have a line type right here. If I type that, I actually just want to capture lines like this because I want a straight line, and then this is a zigzag, and I want to capture a straight stitch. I'm going to tell it okay. And make sure it's in black. And retry. Now it's going to digitize that. That looks good. And I'm going to tell it set. All right. So now is where I can go in and edit. All right. Becky, go back. You couldn't see what buttons I pressed. Oh. All right. Let me go back. I don't know if I can. I've already hit set. You could just hit set and change these settings later on as well. You have stitch options down here in the bottom. I'm sorry. So, okay. So now what I want to do, let me back out. Let me go back and see if I can. Yeah. All right. We'll do it one more time. We'll start all over so you guys can see what I'm doing. My design center. Scan the leaf. Line design. Scan. Okay. So we'll let it do it again. Sorry about that. You got a brand new in the box Luminaire from your dealer after they went to convention. 10,000 is about the going rate on these used Luminaires. So if you can get one under that, that's a deal. And y'all, 0% financing from Synchrony is back. Yay. That's been gone for about 2 years. So that's really nice, y'all. That's free money. That's how I bought this one. Get that baby out. I know it. Let it do its thing. Now, my Quattro has my design center, and it does not have the ability to digitize. It only has the ability to scan and see the embroidery design so you can place it in the right place on your fabric. All right, so this is what I was talking about. We have grayscale detection down here, and you have a line type. And the default line type is like a satin stitch. So I'm going to change it from a satin stitch, and I want it to be this. It has a black and a red line. I'm going to do that, a double line. Okay. And we've got line properties up here. I want it to be a straight stitch. And I'm going to make sure it's in black and tell it okay. All right. Now, you can grab these with your finger or the mouse, okay, and isolate what it is that you want to fiddle. This is going to save you time in the end so that you don't have to go back and clean up all the extra noise on the paper, on the screen. And noise is anything that you don't want. Okay, that's good. I'm going to tell it okay. So there we are. This is where we were before. I'm going to tell it set. And now it sees it. All right, I'm going to get really big. We have a percentage viewer up here with your magnifying glass. I'm going to tap it. I'm going to go to about 400. Okay, and now I'm going to touch the hand to pan, and I'm going to move this so that I can see my whole design. That looks really good. Now what I want to do is get rid of that noise first, okay? I'm going to touch, right here we have an eraser. So let me get my mouse. It's really hard to see, but there's a light gray box that groups these buttons, okay? So this light gray box right up here with the line type and all of this, these are stitch properties, okay? Then we have another gray box right here. These are fill properties, okay? And then down here we have two other icons that are not in a box. This is the eraser and the shape. So these apply, the eraser and the shape don't apply to line properties or fill properties. So I'm going to go to the eraser because I want to get rid of it. I'm going to click it with my mouse, and then I'm going to make it a lot bigger by touching the plus, and I'm going to tell it okay. So now I'm in eraser mode, and I want to come on the screen because you can see the eraser is highlighted right there. And I'm just going to use my mouse and I'm going to get rid of anything that I do not want to be stitched, because it will turn it into stitches for you very, very nicely. All right. So now I'm done with that. Now I need a line property because I want to draw. Okay. I can use this, and this is big and clunky, and they make a fine tip as well. I'm just not good with drawing with a stylus. You might be. I'm not good at it, and so I'm good at drawing with a mouse. So I'm going to come in here and get close so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to come up here and tell it I want to draw a line. Okay. And now, where's my glasses? I need glasses. I can't do a thing without my glasses. I should have known better. Okay. It captured almost all of it, but some parts of it, it didn't. And so I want to make sure that I get those. So I'm going to put my mouse right here on the end. And if you want to go a lot bigger, I can go up to 800 and then pan it. See, I'm missing a gap right there, and I've got a gap right there and gap. So you want to fill those in. So the first thing I'm going to do is this big gap. I'm going to click my line. All right. And I'm going to go from here. And I'm going to draw this. And when I want it to curve, I'm just going to unclick and then click again, and it'll let me draw it. I can kind of see the faint line on the paper. So everywhere there's a curve, make a shorter line, stop and start again. Okay, that's good. Let me get this together. Now it's jinky janky right there, but that's okay. It'll understand that that is part of the curve. I think that that'll look okay. And then I'm going to draw from here up, and I'm going to start on the black and end on the black so that it knows that line goes there. So that looks good. All right, let me draw that. This is why these things cost so much, you guys. Because it's got a big computer in it. Don't waste the money on that. Whoop, let me undo that. Okay. Don't waste the money on these machines and not use this feature. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. I'm going to move it with my hand and make sure all of my little lines are closed. Okay, go back here. And if you mess up, no big deal. There's an undo button. Our favorite button, the undo, right there. Okay. You don't want to have any gaps. That looks pretty good. Okay. Let me go back to 400. That'll work. See that? Oops, sorry. Y'all couldn't see what I was doing. There you go. Okay. So that looks really good. That looks exactly like Lori's drawing. All right. So now what you do, that you got it the way you want it, is you hit memory and you put it in the machine. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go to next. That looks really good. If you did not have it on straight line stitch yet, this is where you would go in here and you could change it back to satin. Okay. If I tell it okay, it's going to redigitize it and it's going to get all goopy. See that? It got all goopy. So that would be a satin stitch lace. And then what you can do is you can hit this. You have 80%, which is your stitch width. And you could go down to the smallest is 0.040 and tell it okay. And it'll redigitize it and make it less goopy, but it's still goopy. I want lines. I don't want satin stitches. And if you're going to put satin stitches, can you export to a USB and edit it in Brilliance? Maybe. All right. So if you do satin stitches on a quilt block, it might pucker. So be careful. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to this stitch type again, and I'm going to go back to my line and tell it okay. I don't know why it has a picture of 2 lines. Maybe it's a double run. That's probably what it is. So let's look. I like it, you guys. I think it looks, how about a fill? I don't want to do that. It's not designed to be a fill. I want to follow the designer. You can play with it all you want. Turn it into whatever you want. All right, so now that we're here, I'm going to tell it set. And it says, now I'm going to exit Design Center, and I'm creating an embroidery design, whether you like it or not, and I'm going to tell it okay. So now it's an embroidery design. That's it. Perfect. All right. There we go. That's going to look great. Now, let me take this off. Now, all I did is I pinned on my block. I don't have any sticky on here or spray or nothing. All right. And I have pinned the block, all 4 corners and all 4 sides. Whoop, I missed one. All 4 sides. And you want to do that to make sure that your block doesn't tug or get misshapen or whatever with the embroidery. It shouldn't, because it's a straight line stitch. Okay. Can Embrilliance import that PHX file? I'm not sure if it can or not. I have not tried that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this in here. I have a standard 70 weight embroidery bobbin in here. I use the Class A Style 15. I'm sorry, Style A Class 15 pre-wounds from Designs and Machine Embroidery. Y'all, this tube has lasted me for 2-3 years. If you're looking to get these, there's 2 different kinds on the Dime website. I have a link to them below. This barcode is 13003. Those are the ones I like. Okay. I've got a 9014 needle in there, organ needle, and my thread is a dark navy blue, and I need to switch it to black. Okay. Let's see here. I was practicing doing some test stitches for the design that we're going to do on the cruise, the Sew and Sail cruise coming up. And so I was using a thread color that I don't use a whole lot. That blue is so dark, it's almost black, but it's blue. And I don't want blue thread on my quilt. I want black. If you do a fill on this, you need to make sure, I would put a piece of heavyweight dark pink would look cuter. Glory, you're good with that. You might be right. That's a good idea. What do you guys think of dark pink? You're welcome, Sandy. She says, thank you for all this great information. I like a dark pink. That would be adorbs, wouldn't it? Yeah. All righty. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, lots of dark pink. We got lots of love for dark pink. Let me find. Let's do this together. These are almost the same. Okay. Let me see. Either one of these. Yeah, this one. Okay. There we go. Those are trays for nail salons. I got them in my Amazon store. Just make sure those are large enough for the Isacord, Glide, and Exquisite thread spools on the bottom. So that's cool. I love the dark pink. What a great idea. If it doesn't work, I'm not remaking the block ever. Okay. But I think it'll be cute. See, you guys are so gifted like that. It wouldn't occur to me. Okay, now what I want to do, again, here's something that the Dream Machine, so Quilt Wench wants to know if the Janome M17 can do what I just did. I think you can do it in the app. I think my spools were 1 3/4 inches. I just put them on the mat and measured them. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to scan the mat and scan my block and make sure I get my lace in the right spot, right? So there's a camera right here. I'm going to touch it. And it says scan. It's going to move. Keep your hands out of the way. Okay. So once again, camera to the rescue. It's going to take a picture. It's not reading as in-depth as it did while scanning the line design. Aha. There we go. Look at here. I'm going to tell it close. So now I can see the design. All right. Now I'm going to go into edit and I want to rotate, and I'm going to rotate 90. There we go. I'm going to bump it over with the move. I like rotate. Let me get out of this. We have size, move, and rotate. Move just gives you move jog buttons. Rotate gives you rotation and jog buttons. So I usually use rotate. So I'm going to jog it over. You can also use the mouse or your finger to move it. And let me look at the picture and make sure where it's at. Okay. The tie is exactly at the where these two fabrics meet. I'm at 100%. I want to get bigger. Let's go to 200. Oh, I'm pretty close. I will tell you guys, brother's accuracy on this camera. So where you see the lace and where you see the fabric, the accuracy on this camera is one of the best in the industry. Okay. That's why these machines are so cool and so expensive. All right. That looks pretty good. Do you guys like that? I like it. Okay. T from Texas. The person you're speaking to when you put an @ sign sees the highlight. This is amazing, isn't it, Karen? She says, this is amazing stuff. I know. Okay, I'm good. I like it. I might go one more tiny little over. Is that too? It's close enough. I like it. I think that'll work. Now, I'm going to do one more little double check. I think the screen is more accurate than the downward display, but let's take a look at the downward display. I'm going to tell it okay. Now I'm going to tell it embroidery. Whoop, you can't see that. I'm still in edit mode, y'all. I'm going to tell it embroidery. And it moved the mat, so it's in the right place. Now we've got a little cone right here. I'm going to hit my cone, and it says, give me a second. Hold on. Let me do this. And I want to zoom you guys in. Oh, first of all, see the red box? That's what the camera is showing me down on my design. I'm going to take the box and I'm going to move it up so the top of my lace is enclosed in that. Okay. Set a light off in your head. Y'all play with this. You will love, 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 love. Now, as I looked at it on the screen, it looked fine. As I look at it here, let me get you in really close. Hold on. I cannot control those rainbow waves, y'all. As I look at it here, I'm overlapping on the skate just a tiny bit. So I'm going to use the jog buttons on the screen and bring it back over a little. Okay. That's one more right there. Now it looks like it's right. That's a big deal. Thank you, T from Texas, for your super sticker. That's very thoughtful. I appreciate that, sweetheart. So now I want to make sure that that's exactly where I want it to start. Okay, so let me back this out. I want to show you guys. How do I make sure that's exactly where I want it to start? So I've looked at it on the screen. On the screen, it looks like it's far away. There's a gap. On the downward directed display, it looks like it's right where it needs to be, dead on. But look at the screen. I've got a discrepancy. There's a gap at the screen. See that? Let me back you out so it can focus. Now, how do I make sure it's where I want it to be? Whoop, wrong way. My bad. How I make sure of that? Whoop. What are you doing, Becky? I'm going to tell it okay. I'm going to go to needle plus minus, and I want to go to my first stitch. I'm going to plus 1. All right. So I'm on the first stitch of the design. Let me drop the needle. It's a 30-second off. Actually, it's so close, I think it'll work just fine. Let me pull that needle back up. I'm going to hit 0 so that it goes back, and it didn't complete the stitch. I'm going to tell it okay. I'm going to go into layout and rotate. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Thank you, Glenda, for your super sticker. That's very sweet, darling. I'm going to go into rotate. And my little nudge buttons, I'm going to nudge it. 1. Right there. That ought to do it. Tell it okay. Needle plus minus. First stitch, drop the needle. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Love it. Let's go. Got a little loop. So you can trust the camera, okay? Or scrapping like a lady. Thank you for your sticker, sweetie. Thank you so much. So it's doing a double run now on these laces. For me to sit here and talk this out through you took some time. For me to sit here and just do this, it took me like less than 5 minutes. There's no way I could do that by hand. Glory, you are absolutely right. The pink is gorgeous. Oh, I love that sound. The dark pink does look great, Elizabeth. I know. Ta-da. There's my laces. How cute is that? Ta-da! Magic! Yay! That's adorable. Yeah. So now all I need to do, I know my hands would have been asleep. Okay. So now I'm going to take this hoop off. Yeah, pinched nerve, whatever, who knows, slept wrong, sneezed, whatever. My fingers, my thumb and my 3 fingers will go numb tingly over time holding onto a needle. So that's why I've learned to use these cool gadgets. Now, when you cut stabilizer away from a project, y'all, hold the stabilizer and let the project fall away from you. I learned this from the late, great Deborah Jones. And you always want to use your duck-billed scissors to protect your project. Okay. So I'm going to get in here. This is how, this is how I'm going to do this. Let me see. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. You want the duck bill toward the fabric. And I'm just going to, and if you can tear it, it's better than slicing. Okay. I've kind of got this weird. There, I'm holding it wrong. There we go. You want the duck bill toward your fabric, not the point of the scissor. You need to protect your fabric. Oh, there we go. So now I just have a tiny bit of that stabilizer. My thumb's in the way. I'm not going to cut it. A tiny bit of stabilizer in the back of my project, in the back of my block. And it's still soft and it looks amazing. Look at my hand stitching. Look how good that is. Thank you for the color choice, Glory. It turned out adorable. That was awesome. What size hoop was that? This is the 8x8. That's an 8x8 dime magnetic hoop. I love it. Yeah. Row 6 is done. Oh, good, Jamie. There you go. Thank you. Jamie's the one whose letter I read you. Congratulations. So, yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Our hour's almost up. You guys got questions? So anyway, yeah, absolutely. Give this method a try and be sure to double check where your stitches are going to land, you know, by using your needle plus minus. It is really cute. I'm very impressed with myself. I'm an amazing hand stitcher. I know, Maureen. I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't touch my mic. I got to quit doing that. So fantastic lesson today. You guys, if you've got these machines, and I know a lot of you do, start poking around and playing around and do what I did with mine. Okay. So what I do with my sample, I just put a piece of no-show mesh. Okay. And grabbed a scrap. This is an old Jolly Bar chunk that I didn't use in another project. And I just practiced doing it and got it so it would stitch out. And I really much prefer the pink to the black, huh? Didn't that come out cute? I like it. Well done, well done. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. You're going to have to rewatch. Well, start near the middle. That's where I wasn't yapping, okay? I got phone. Oh, check my phone for notes. Thank you, Elaine. What was I going to tell you guys? I know, because we're almost done here. Let me go to my show notes. Whenever I think of something, I create a show notes list so I can tell y'all. So I told you that today is the last day for the 10% off coupon for Brilliance. It probably won't be another one for a little bit. Keith's Legit Kit video. We now have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Okay. That got scheduled that we didn't know about. So tomorrow's video is going to be, we're going to do Legit Kit Sophia. It'll be a live. It will be at 3 p.m. Central as opposed to 1. Just FYI, it's only going to be an hour. So he'll get started on month 2 of Sophia. Reminder, I've got a link below. Do I buy hoops direct from Dime? I do. I kind of cut out the middleman if I can. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing Embroidery Thursday yet. Oh, yes, I do. So Embroidery Thursday, I do know that. ML Weber, yes, I do. Embroidery Thursday, we're going to do Cinco de Mayo designs from Hoop Sisters. And I've got a link to that below. They are so cute, little avocados and tacos and all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be so fun. So that's what we're going to do on Thursdays, Embroidery Thursday. So go get those designs, use my link, and I appreciate it. Yeah. Where did I purchase my chair? I purchased it at Wayfair, and I think I have a link to it in the description box down below in the part that says around my sewing room. And then a lot of you asked me for the Amazon link for the Velcro that I used for my Alpha Bitty storage, and all of the white is gone. So I looked for it last night to put it in the video, and all that's left is black. So until it gets restocked, I don't want to put a link and have you guys buy the wrong stuff and be upset. So anyway, that's the show notes. Thank you. Elaine, I need a manager for sure. Okay. Do I know which project from the Cinco de Mayo? Nancy, I was thinking about the little avocado mat. That looks so stinking cute. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again and double check. So, all right. Yes. Karen says you can do this technique with the irons cord in the what's it called? The something, Lori's Sew More quilt. Anything, any quilt that has hand stitching, right? You can do this method. You sure can. And it's going to be awesome. Yeah, you're going to love it, Karen. All right, you guys have a great day. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Thank you to all of you who gave me a super sticker. I appreciate it. That really helps support the channel. But you don't have to do that. The best thing you can do to support this channel is to go down, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe. It's all free. No channel memberships here. Okay. We will talk to you tomorrow. Y'all go sew something. Bye.